I was talking about this, how to bring the solution to save the world from all these mob violent people who are doing intimidation, humiliation, insulting humanity for their greed and lust and desires, even not leaving young girls. I have been a big case in the United States, you have already heard. Well, I don't have to define. Look into the window of your heart and find out who is the problem. Once that is realized, then you will find how to solve the issues all over the planet. This Mother Earth needs to get the training. Means the Mother Earth has the training, but the people have to know what is the right thing and what is the wrong things. Now, I'll give you an example of James Madison. When he was struggling, he became the 4th president of the United States of America after winning the election in Virginia. This is what he wrote to the letter. He wrote a letter to Mr. Thomas Jefferson, and this is what he stated in the letter. Thus in Virginia, means he fought the election with Patrick Henry, who wanted to put all biblical ideologies in the school, the Bible basis, go back to the boonies, burn the astronomers like Bruno and Latimer and all this, because they said the earth was not flat, earth is the round. So all that desertification ideology, what they had embraced in Europe, they were later on, these odd historians started writing the history that pagans of Europe, indigenous people of Europe, they were actually nature worshiper and sun worshiper, because the sun is our energy that gives the life. In California, about when there was total sun eclipse in California, some of the doctors had found the temperatures of the human body dropped 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. This happened just momentarily. The total sun eclipse took place momentarily. And for an hour or so, and human body temperature dropped 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, can you ever realize this sun is so respectful to us, because these are the God's attributes, God's gifts to humans and animals to survive. So the body can survive. Without the sun, you don't have the energy. And now just imagine for a moment that you have all taken everything for granted. Just imagine for a moment if this sun totally disappeared from the face of this Mother Earth. What will be the consequences you will face? The temperature would dive down to minus 800 degrees Fahrenheit, and no human, no animal, no life can survive. This is how much these are elements which were created for the survival of humanity. And these idiots come over there in the last 2,000-3,000, 1,300 years ago and insulted all the laws of nature. And this mob violence went to Europe, through Egypt, start burning just like Tiddy Dul, destroy all the crops, all the universal laws were destroyed, all the way to South and Central America, North America. After this idiot Columbus comes on the rowboat, he didn't know where he was going. He ended up in the America's land, and from there they started raping. And now you ask me a question, how can you discover something where millions of ago people were living in those lands? Do you think some native Indians from America should go and put a flag outside as soon as reach England and say, I discover England? How will you think about that, man? What will you think? You will say this man is stupid. Is it not? Is it not what you are showing your stupidities and ignorance? That by calling America was discovered by Columbus, when the world was existing over there, people were living. So stop nonsense. You have done your nonsense too much now. It's enough. The forefathers said the right things for you. Now, James Madison is very clear on this issue. He says, after defeating Patrick Henry, he wrote the letter. He says, thus in Virginia, we have extinguished the ambitious hope of making laws for the human minds. So these people are trying to control your minds, and we are saying free out your minds and learn and have a respect, as mind is your friend and mind is your number one enemies. If you are in the wrong association, wrong things, wrong ideologies, you are going to go to hell. The hell has been created. It does not make any difference what any Messiah or any prophet speak, because this universe has been moving now around has been in existence over 155 trillion years. Can they figure out 2 plus 2? They don't even know 2 plus 2. They have no idea, like Muhammad at the age of 40, in his concocted brain, invented Allah. In his concocted brain at the age of 40. Before that, he did not know Allah himself. His mother and father did not know even Allah. Muhammad, when he was born, he did not know what was Allah. 2 years old, he was not knowing Allah. 10 years old, he did not know Allah. 15 years old, he did not know Allah. 20 years old, he did not know Allah. But once he reached age 40, he finds a new invented Allah. All these years he was surviving. How did he survive without the Mother Earth? 250 million years ago, dinosaurs were moving around, roaming the earth. How did they roam the earth without the earth? If you don't have an earth, how can you roam something? That was 2,500 lakhs years ago. If they don't trust it, go and ask the archaeologists who have worked very hard to assemble their bones in finding in Brazil and African jungles, and they assemble these big giant dinosaurs which were born and roaming this Mother Earth. Could they even survive without water and fire, air, ether and earth? You have to understand these things. So all these people who have been making fool out of you understand that life could not even exist for Muhammad if the Mother Earth was not there, air was not there. Could he breathe without breath? Could he survive? Could he be born? Ask all these questions yourself. Investigate your own consciousness. Look into the mirror and find out how you look. How is your dirty image? I'm trying to clean that cover which has been dusted. That mirror has been dusted. And now most of them has been put a lot of mud over the mirror that it is very hard to clean them. So just keep on listening to these information in James Madison. You must understand how much he struggled. Same way Thomas Jefferson. And these people are doing the same thing now, trying to bring the people to the boonies and follow those ideologies which are very destructive to any human consciousness. They will destroy America. They will destroy any country who has been trying to follow the democratic rules if they continue to apply those kind of stupid ideologies which are very dangerous to any human's consciousness. Now let me ask you the last question. Why did Jesus say that do not worry on your conscience and eat whatever you find in the meat market? Can you give me any good answer? Now give me good answer. Now speak up. Why Jesus said that to his disciple, eat whatever you find in the meat market. Do not worry on your conscience. So he had warned them also about the conscience. If they were smart enough, they would have said, Jesus, so there is a conscience in the murder of the animals. Is that correct? If this was smart people. A disciple must be smart. He should sense who is a guru, who is a teacher, who is a master, who is a mentor. And if they were smart boys, they would say, if they have conscience, why are you asking us to eat the animals? That means it's very dangerous. And you are putting us in the pitfall, in the karmic negative cycle. You are going to make us dogs in next life. Because that's the consciousness he has developed in you. Just like the mosquito, he knows where to suck the blood. Does he know in the dark room? Does he not know in the dark room where to go and bite and suck the blood of the humans? They all have consciousness. The atomic soul is 1/10,000 times the tip of the hair. It can take the body of flies. Just like the flies If you don't stop the flies in that nature, which I told you that I'll clean the sin and all this thing, and these priests sit over there behind the room, and then they say, oh, I did this, I did that. Okay, now you're washed in the name of Jesus. But the habit becomes habit. It becomes more bad habit, because you have to destroy that activities right from the beginning of the childhood to train them right things, that what is absolutely wrong and what one wrong things can do and destroy your life. Just like fentanyl is killing millions of people. Or I told you about even eating animal cow is the biggest killer on the world. Now, just I gave you many examples in my previous video, audio, whatever. So you have to understand that if there was no consciousness, Jesus could not speak the word consciousness. It's just like a consciousness. There is a law of universe. The animal soul, eternal soul, are sitting in the animal body. They are learning stages. And these are their residents, just like your residence in this body, in material body, human body. So a cow lives 25 years, their soul is living in their residence, and this is what is happening. This is their residence, and you are destroying the residence which has been assigned by the laws of nature, by the universal Father, God Om, who has created this universe 155 trillion years ago, much, much before when Moses and Jesus or Muhammad ever existed. And this universe has 9 planets which are revolving around the sun. There is no mention of 8 planets which are revolving around the sun in the biblical ideologies. They have no idea about all this. So how, if you start imagining that which planet would go first, or which one would move, they have no ideas. So they have all cock and bull stories have been created just to take you under their control. It has to be stopped now. And they are bringing America to Taliban in Nigeria, Islamic, like in Afghanistan. Well, 14-year-old girls to 45-year-old women were kidnapped by the mob violent Islamists after this recent takeover of Taliban in Afghanistan around 4 years ago. From house to house, and this is what they want to do. You can see how many young girls were molested. You are hearing a lot of information in America recently. These are all these ideologies causing these problems. So understand this point very well, and find the answers for the benefit of your own eternal soul, so you don't have to go to the hellish planets. Now, one question, and I'm going to ask the last question. When U.S. Declaration of Independence was signed, at that time, if the population of humans who were mostly coming from Europe after the persecution from the inquisitors, Catholic inquisitors, there were only about 4 or 5 million people. And naturally, nobody would have any idea of bringing their dogs and cats in the boats when they were already in those raw wooden boats, were very much crowded with people who were running from Europe to save their life. When they came to Europe, what I'm trying to say, they did not bring their dogs and cats with them. Now I'm going to ask you one question. Where we have about over 200 million dogs living in household, cats, I'm talking about dogs and cats, pets. Where did they come? Understand this point. Your body is not carnivorous. Your body is not supposed to eat animals. Your body is not. So when you are making that consciousness, you are making your consciousness in that formation. you are going to get the most befitting body which satisfies your own eternal soul's consciousness. And that is what is the reason for so many dogs and cats. Now realize, do you have your sharp razor-like teeth? No, you have flat. Do you chew the food? Yes, but do the animal-eating animals chew the food? No. Do you perspire through the skin pores like the herbivore, like cows, horses, goat, bull? You perspire through the skin pores. But what about the dogs, cats? What about hyenas? What about wolves, jackals, lion, tiger? They perspire through the tongue. Do you have acid strong enough, 20 times stronger, to digest the animal flesh, which they take it and gulp it down, and the flesh is all digested? Do you have that acid? No, you don't have that strong acid in the stomach. Their stomach acid is 20 times animal-eating animals. This is God has created these. Did Moses know this? No. Did Jesus know this? No. Did Muhammad know this? No. They didn't know it. And they are feeding these people on the basis of these hearing sake of Messiah. They did not consult the natural laws or universal which are sitting in Vedic sciences, in Bhagavad Gita and all these knowledge, which are ancient science which, without any contamination on the body, mind, and soul. Now let me ask you, why 20 times stronger acid? Because the dead body, the flesh, rubberized flesh, can be digested quickly. But your stomach cannot take that kind of dead bodies. That's why you have cancer polyps. Your intestinal tract is 6 times the body length. For example, a human body is 6 feet long. Your intestinal tract will be 12 times 72 feet. So is the cow, so is the horse, so is the goat. Similarly, those are the vegetarian animals. If the animal-eating animals like wolf, cat, dogs, hyenas, and all these things, their intestinal tract is only 3 times the body length. That means if a lion is 6 feet from tail to the head is 6 feet, its intestinal tract will be 3 times the body length, 18 feet. So they can take this toxic, poisonous, all that's contaminated with bacteria-filled mass dead bodies in the flesh and goes through intestinal tract, it will pass out real quickly. So they will not have cancer polyps. But when you eat these animals, your intestinal tract is 72 feet. You have all these poisonous things are coming out, extracted from these animals, and you have a lot of bacteria and all this kind of stuff, and that causes cancer polyps. Understand this point, because it's a long way to pass all that digestion from your colon. It takes longer time, 72 feet versus 18 feet. Just think about that. Now you put an apple right over there. On the table, it will refresh after 2 or 3 weeks later also. And you put a dead body flesh, immediately that will start decaying. So you're eating decaying food and you are having all these viruses coming in your stomach and causes fungus and all kinds of autoimmune diseases and all this kind of stuff because of eating these animals. And also the mother is eating animals, their genes get destroyed, and then the children are born. They have blood cancer, just like you have seen in St. Jude Hospital. Because a doctor, you go to a doctor when the women get pregnant, the doctor said, do not drink wine, do not smoke, do not take drugs. I have seen the cases in my profession where their mother were on drugs and the children were born deformed. Similarly, when your body is not supposed to eat animals, and you are feeding the animals, the genes and the cells get destroyed. They become more animals. And this is what's said that a person who has been eating animals and they want to change it to vegetarian, it takes about 7 to 12 years to change the entire cells of the body. Cells are changing every second of the day. Millions of cells are changing every day. But what I'm trying to say, those who are used to animal eating, their cells to convert into vegetarianism will take about 7 to 12 years. This is what had been spoken. Now they are talking in Google. Oh, no, this does not happen. Everything in Google, as soon as it came, there are a lot of ignorant people. They start disputing everything what has been the ancient science. And they do not want, because they are used to of those kind of bad habits. Now, for example, John Wayne, he died of massive heart attack when they found after the postmortem he had 38-pound dead meat stuck. Now everybody knows that John Wayne was a famous person. When the death news came, everybody were glued up to the television in the 70s. And I also was watching very carefully, because in the young age I used to see John Wayne horse cowboy movies and all this kind of stuff. Cowboy, he was a famous Duke of America. Well, it was spoken by all the doctors that he had a massive heart attack because he had 38-pound dead meat stuck into intestinal tract because the air blocked. Now understand the science of consciousness of Bhagavad Gita. There are 5 airs. And when your body on the bottom air is stuck, you die very fast. You have a heart attack. Because there are 5 airs which are circumambulating within the atomic soul and which is within your heart. Now, what happened? 1 air goes in your mind. If you slow down the air and blood, you have Alzheimer's disease and many diseases come for the mind. Now, 2nd air goes on the bottom. And then the 1 air is called inhale air. 1 is called exhale air, and 1 air which equilibrium. They will balance all the air so they don't go, 1 air goes faster or somebody else more. So there are 5 airs which are controlling all your bodily system. Now what happened? When you eat animals, your intestinal tract start getting blocked, and you have a hard time to pass your feces and all this. So these are very serious issues. It has to be looked into. The medical science does not know these. These are internal sciences of the ancient India which explain all this body, mind, and soul, because they have no idea on the body concept. They think body is all in all. They don't know anything. In Bible, Old Testament, they do not even have any concept of the eternal soul. They may talk now, but here and there listening to us, but they have no insight. They had to come to the masters, the Hindu teachers, to understand the meaning of the consciousness, meaning of the soul. They are stuck up with Jesus and all these Moses type and Muhammad type, and they just say, do not worry on your consciousness. Only Jesus was the one who knew about the soul. Moses did not even know the meaning of the soul. Muhammad did not know anything of the meaning of soul. Otherwise, they would not be asking for putting the dead bodies in the 6 feet under the ground and would come to the rest. The body is not come to the rest. The eternal soul is the one which has consciousness, must be put to the rest in the form of learning, the education, the consciousness, understanding of the spiritual sciences. Then the body will come to then the eternal soul will come to the rest, because the eternal soul is the one which left the body. The body is dead. Body does not come. Body will become ashes to ashes after you cremate. And when you make the body graveyard of the murdered animals, this is what Bernard Shaw says. Now, how can you expect peace on this Mother Earth? Bernard Shaw, who is a famous Irishman, over 100 years ago, he spoke, how could you expect peace on this Mother Earth when your stomach means, he didn't say this, he said, that was Leo Count Tolstoy said, how can you expect peace on this Mother Earth? Leo Count Tolstoy, over 150 years ago, said, how could you expect peace on this Mother Earth when your stomachs have become the graveyard of the murdered animals, your brothers and sisters you're eating, and you think that you are going to have peace? Lord, arrangement has been made already. All the nature laws have been fixed. The sun direction have been changed. You have to learn to fit within. And those are the sciences which are explained by the great masters and Hindu teachers. And that is what you have to learn. You are not going to take a control on this Mother Earth which cannot be controlled by you. Its speed is 107,000 kilometers per hour. Can you put a loop around the Mother Earth and take it like a cowboy, take the horses and cows? Can you put the loop? No. Or you think you are going to carry over your shoulders this Mother Earth the way you keep on colonizing and keep on controlling something which is not supposed to be controlled by you? You are just transitory, you are passing through. Why are you trying to force your ways where you are going to be transitory yourself? You have to get down of the train station. Next train station comes, you have to get down. Or the next airport, you have to get down. You have to get off. Similarly, this human body is not going to be permanently fixed over here. You have to leave one day. Understand this point. And when you understand this point, who is the person left? That is the person who left is the consciousness. And Jesus said, do not worry on your conscience. So he tried to be above the law of nature. And do you think a police officer should be above the law of nature? If the police officer or judge or anybody or prime minister or president break the laws of nature, he is going to be punished. And you can already see how much chaotic conditions are taking place politically or anyway, because they try to be above the laws. They try to be arrogant. They try to become control freaks. And that's why the people react, and they also do demonstration against all these negativism. So when Jesus said that do not worry on your conscience and eat whatever you find in the meat market, you are going to eat toes, fungus. There are a lot of cases in this country which was brought animal foot and mouth diseases, and they are feeding you. What am I telling you? I'm on your side, my brothers and sisters. I'm trying to teach you that what your children are going through when you eat animals, you desire all these alcohol to digest, because this is a foreign substance to your body. I already explained to you, your body is strictly vegetarian. Now you buy a Lexus car and the manual says that you need to only have a premium gas, petrol. So you start putting kerosene, what will happen to your Lexus car? Your carburetor will be clogged up, you will be disturbed, your car will be disturbed, and soon the car will be gone. Fentanyl and all these things you will be using. Similarly, when humans take the liberty and misuse the laws of nature and dispute the laws of nature, they are going to suffer the consequences of their wrong karmic actions. This is a fact. Now, so it is the manual, the manufacturer told you, put the premium. Similarly, Vedas came at the time of creation, not just 1,000, 1,500 years ago, or 2,000 or 3,000 years, when these messiahs start telling all kinds of disputing the laws of nature. As I already explained, Jesus himself is disputing the laws of nature by saying, eat whatever you can find in the meat market, do not worry on your conscience. He strictly spoke very wrong against the laws of nature. And that is what is the wrong with all the society has fallen down. So understand the laws of nature, what the US forefathers brought back, and say that we must found this country, the United States of America, on the principles of laws of nature and nature's God. So understand, if you respectfully follow the laws of nature, this country will be saved. America will be saved, the world will be saved, India will be saved, everybody will be saved. But when you start disputing the laws of nature, you are going to be suffering. For example, I was talking about Bernard Shaw, and I mixed up with Leo Count Tolstoy of Russia, who was a great sage. But this is what Bernard Shaw said. How can you expect, he said that humans with all the expanded visions have not yet realized what food must they eat or subsist upon. But this dumb goat yet knows very well what food she should eat. In other words, a dumb goat, what humans say, and humans thinking they are very smart boys and girls, they yet have not realized what food must they eat, because their bodily structure is not supposed to feed them, is allowed by the laws of nature, universal laws, not to eat animals. They are your brothers, and it is causing very serious havoc in this planet Earth. All these heating, all these environmental damages, all these ecological imbalances are being disturbed by these stupid, mob, violent people who are disputing the laws of nature. All these hurricanes, all these tsunamis, all these cyclones are taking place because of these people who are very ignorant, causing the mass destructions of this planetary system, bringing wars. So Bernard Shaw very clearly says that with all the expanded visions, they think they are very smart, arrogantly filled up, puffed up to the brim, and they think, oh, we are the smartest people because we follow those dirty desertification, contradictory, confused ideologies which are against the human consciousness. They are self-destructive to their own consciousness. Their ignorance is causing this self-inflicted ignorance. They don't realize this self-inflicted ignorance is causing them to go into 8.4 million lives. You can see right in front of your eyes. The lion is there, tiger is there, dog is there, cats are there. They are running, they are eating, sleeping, defending, everything. They are also having babies, and God arrangement, their puppies, when they are born, their mother's breasts are filled with milk. So God has also made arrangement for you to live in their bodies, but you are not realizing where you are heading. Now, when somebody says there are no environmental issues and all this thing, long before, 2,500 years before, a great Pythagoras, he spoke very clearly. As long as people of this planet Earth continue to murder their two most benign friends, the cow and the bull, they will perpetually suffer the karmic reaction measure for measure, in the form of catastrophic wars, criminal violence, famine, and mass population explosion. Let me ask you one thing. When a child is learning, he is in kindergarten, is that right? Then he goes to elementary, first grade, second grade, third grade, all things, then goes to high school. Similarly, as I explained in my previous video or audio, whatever I have spoken in, it shows very clearly John Adams' letters to Mr. Thomas Jefferson, that how the soul is passing from one life to the life. The life is there in those bodies, but those bodies are learning, education, consciousness, and you are killing them before they learn. Their time is up. Just like a first grade boy learned, and then he's upgrading and graduating to the second grade and third. So this graduation is taking place in the eternal soul, consciousness, and they're passing from one life to the next. And when they are fully able to graduate properly by the laws of nature, they come to the human form of life, human bodies. So they are our brothers who are living in those bodies, but you are going as a human who are supposed to protect and defend them, your past lives, where you were there one time in those bodies, but you are insulting and murdering them. So you are going against the laws of nature, against the God laws, against the universal laws, and you have to suffer the consequences of your action, whatever you are doing. You must understand this. So Mr. Pythagoras, who was a Greek, and he studied at the University of Taxila, and he is very well known for Pythagorean theorem, where all those mathematical sciences and all these were intact in Taxila, which was burned by Muslims. That Taxila University is very famous. It was one of the only university in those days. The known world at that time used to come and visit and study over there. And there was a very famous Chanakya, who had also taught. He was the Acharya of Takshila University that was burned by Muslims because they did not agree with those books, just like Alexandria Library was burned by the mob, Christian mob, when they were moving from Egypt to Rome, which was called Ram. So they burned the library because library had the old ancient Hindu astronomical sciences, philosophical sciences, all these Vedic sciences. And those sciences say Earth is the round, and the sun does not mean Earth moves around the sun with all those astronomical sciences have been taken in the last 120 years when they established the Oriental Studies Department in Oxford in 1854 under Max Muller, who was given 1 lakh bribe by McLuhan to destroy all the spiritual sciences, and they extracted all Hindu sciences explained about airplane manufacturing, about these vimanas, about the atomic sciences, about the anti-gravity, electronics. All these sciences have been taken out from India. These AI, artificial intelligence, without Sanskrit, it could not be possible. Exploring deeper into horizon, they could not use regular computer with English because but and put caused the disturbance to the computer, those high advanced computers. So they use this Sanskrit as the mother tongue of all the Indo-European languages, and that made those computers, NASA space computers, as the possible to go deeper in exploring the horizons of the universe. So Sanskrit made it possible. NASA could not be possible if they were thinking the earth was flat. They could not even imagine sending the very first rocket. And what they did, all these Saturn planet, this was called Sunny, Mangal, Mars, all these were taken out of the Hindu sciences and made them. Because they don't have those ideas of the ancient, that 9 planets are moving, only they borrowed from Hindu science and they have just made everything their own. So Sanskrit is the only old language. Now they are saying there was another language somewhere. They want to prove that they are some arrogantly the stupid idiots, that they don't want to accept the facts that these are the Hindu sciences, which was the origin of all the origins. So they will keep on saying there is an older language than Sanskrit. But there is no older language. Mr. Jones had explained, who was a judge in during the British time in Calcutta. He wrote the books on the Sanskrit. He said there was no other language before. If there was another language, at least it should be in some form or the other. But they will keep on distorting people and keep on saying there is another language before that. This is arrogance of these. Because how can it be an older language when the origin started 155 trillion years ago, and it tells all in Vedic science. So which language they were using? Sanskrit is the language of the gods and goddesses, even used in different planetary systems. There is no other language origin. So don't try to play dirty games that there was another language somewhere in Europe. Where Europe, nobody would be going to Europe in cold climates and minus 40-degree temperature. God is not that stupid. When the origin started, origin started from tropical climate, where a child could survive even under any circumstances. Just like Lord Buddha, when he was born in jungle because the mother wanted to take give the birth in her parents' home. So when they were going through the jungle, Lord Buddha was born in the jungle. You think he could be born in minus 40-degree temperature somewhere in Nordic region? All those regions were established because there was already establishment. There was a life was already existing. So they could back it up or come back under adverse circumstances. Just like the pipeline, crude oil pipeline brought from Alaska. Minus temperature, working because the life was already established in in other part of the United States of America. That's why they could retreat back in case of very disturbing climatic conditions. So in the same way, when the first child is born, just imagine, would he be born in minus European peninsula? No, it cannot be possible. So stop your Europe business. The Europe business comes from Hindu business, from India, because the first three tribes which entered from Germany, they were called Anglo-Saxon and Jude. And those Anglo-Saxon were the one who were, and Jude were called, they spoke Indo-European language. Who will speak Indo-European language? You tell me. Huh? If there is no person living over there, those people are coming in the barren land and establishing Europe. Who established those Indo-European language? Who will speak? The Sanskrit, the Hindi, those who are Hindus. And they were the one called the nature worshipper. And why they were worshipping Stonehenge? Go over there, 5,000 years old, Stonehenge sitting over there, and they worship the sun. Sun gives you life. Without that sun, you would not even survive. 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit temperature. I already gave you an example. Total sun eclipse lasted for just an hour, and the body temperature in California state, USA, was measured, many people, and it dropped 2 or 3 degrees Fahrenheit. If the sun totally disappeared, there will be no life. So we respected the nature laws, and you are not respecting. You are teaching your kids arrogance. You are teaching them to take a control from the beginning. That's why they slap you, they insult you, they kill children in school. You are making them arrogant from the very beginning. Stop it. Because every child born on this planet Earth is Hindu by law of nature. Why I say that? Do you think a child can survive on eating animal flesh, what you are feeding them, as soon as they become boy? No, he has to drink only milk and milk and milk, only one diet. Because he does not have teeth. He cannot chew the food. He has to have milk only. That's why God, Krishna's arrangement, milk is filled in the breast, who is called Om. In Bhagavad Gita in chapter 9, verse 17, Lord Krishna says, I am the father, I am the mother, I am the grandsire. I am the syllable Om, I am the support of this universe, I am the purifier. And I am the Rig Veda, I am the Samveda, I am the Yajurveda. Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, verse 17. So he is a syllable Om. He himself is Om. They appear just like sun and moon. They come and go to teach you. He says very clearly, whenever, wherever there irreligious practices take place, I advent myself millennium after millennium to analyze the miscreants, to re-establish the principles of religion, dharam, understanding of the consciousness, and to deliver the pious, not the dirty, filthy, evil, filthy, garbage minds who are humanizing, doing all kinds of immoral things, greed, lust, hell bound. It says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, verse 21, greed, lust, anger, arrogance, lies, deceit, finding faults in even in sunlight, harsh nature, cruel to the animals, cruel to the humans. These kind of people are going in those 28 hellish planets because your consciousness is locked up. Even you go in a dark room and think that you have not done, your consciousness knows, just like a computer. Hard drive knows everything, and the central computer knows also everything. Similarly, God, Om, is omniscient. He is the knower of your mind. He is omnipresent everywhere in your conquer. He can feel the vibration by chanting the mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You chant the mantra. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa Tassavitur Varenim. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pusti Vardhanam. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Do this chanting. You will cleanse your mind. Because you need devotion, not just the knowledge. You need both of these. because without devotion of Lord, you will not be able to succeed. So you have to go to your guru, how to find the internal peace, how to build the devotion. Devotion has to be invoked, and those are the mantras which will invoke your devotion. And under those devotion, you have to then use the silent mantra. You have to promise that you have to keep your body and mind intact. In other words, you do not drink wine, you do not smoke, you don't eat meat, fish, eggs, all these kind of garbage, which is making your stomach nothing but garbage. You don't fill the garbage in your home, it will start smelling. And you have to keep your body absolutely clean. You have to keep your mind clean. You have to keep your consciousness clean. You have to keep your eternal soul absolutely clean. You have to have a clean heart. And you have to externally clean yourself, take bath every day. Cleanliness is one of the pillars of human mind. And truthfulness, if you are not truthful, you are going in hell. Lies and deceit, you lies, somebody can be murdered, hanged, because you gave the wrong witness. So you have to be very honest. You have to be truthful. And then it comes back in a different form. You may say, oh, everything's okay. No, everything's locked up. If these 9 planets around the earth can move with an exorbitant speed, just like an earth is moving 107,000 kilometers per hour, 250 times faster than the jumbo airplanes. And yet you are not being disturbed. You can go to sleep comfortably, except the mob, evil humans, greedy people are disturbing this Mother Earth, causing mass population explosion. When the resources are limited, they are killing animals and eating them, and those eternal souls are multiplying fast in human bodies. A cow can live in the jungle with rain and all this thing, but you cannot live in jungle with only water and rain falling. So you have to have a house, you have to air condition, you have to have heating, you have to have job, you have to have good automobile. All those resources, where are you going to get for mass population explosion? Understand, when the soul was living 20 years in the cow body, what happened to that? You killed within 2 weeks, and Pope Paul used to eat baby cows called veal Papa John. And those baby cows are put into those small cages, 22 by 32, 34 inches, and they cannot even move around. This is how much cruel you are. You think you are going to be happy? Yes, you can make a lot of money right now, gather every pebble on this planet Earth, but you are going to leave everything over here. You're not going to take what you have created, your consciousness, and that consciousness is going with you. Everybody is different. It is not just one, say, I believe in this, or everybody flies to heaven. No, it's not happened. It is you who has to be self-conscious. And whatever you create is what you're going to get punishment. You think nobody's watching you? This is what you think. But the fact is that everything, if 9 planets can move so swiftly, so fast, even after 155 trillion years later, and they have not collided, they are moving in unison, and they are within their own axis, yet they have not collided. This is how perfect is that God, Om, who created this universe. And in that perfect God, you're trying to tell and ditch your own consciousness, deceive yourself under the influence of some wrong association. Oh, no, nothing happened. No, everything is happening. Every thought you are thinking is happening. Every action you are doing is happening. Is it not possible in your work? What action you perform, that's why you get betterment on your position. If your actions are bad, you are going to be kicked out, no matter how much you love your boss. Same way, you make a fool of Jesus. Jesus did not tell anybody, hey, I'm going to die for your sin. You have made a mockery of him. Just like a stupid son. He goes and murders somebody, and the police sees him. And police is running after him. And he's just running to his house. His father is the chief of the police. He said, Dad, 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 save me, save me. I love you, I love you. That stupid son has insulted his father's position. The police officer comes, he hides under the bed. And the chief of the police, he said, Dad, Dad, save me. The police is coming. The chief of the police is going to take his big boot and hit him on his head and say, you stupid boy, why did you kill if that father is a good father? Why did you kill in my name? You have put my reputation bad. And that is what you all are doing, putting the reputation of God items, God things, everything by misleading people, by giving wrong information, and hope you learn this manners not to insult the universal laws. You are insulting your own consciousness by your own action. Your wrong actions are insulting. Nobody is, you're hurting your own position. You're hurting your own consciousness. You have to realize now. Hari Om.